we talked about the wild, wild west reality where more required and less is offered when it comes to dance teams. And Kathy just kept dropping gems and surprises and aha moments.
Dancers have leadership stories, resilience, time management, teamwork, discipline, but many don't know how to translate that into an admissions essay.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Beyond the Steps, produced by Apollo Performance and Turning Point Dance Creations. Today, we're recapping our January series with the amazing Kathy Hein de Jong. And wow, just wow. She gave us so much to think about as we head into UDA Nationals and college decision season.
Yeah, I said it last time. I'm going to say it again. This might be up in the top 3 of my favorite episodes or series we've ever done on the show in 6 years. The whole month felt like a mini masterclass for dance families navigating both college admissions and the dance recruiting journey. And if you missed any of the episodes, don't worry. We're going to break down the biggest takeaways today, the aha moments, and the reminders we think every dancer and parent needs right now. But also, you can go back and watch this series and all of our past episodes on YouTube or Turning Point Dance Creations Facebook or Apollo's Facebook, but YouTube at Apollo Performance or TP Dance Creations. All of our episodes live there, and there's a ton of fantastic content.
Yeah, so get comfy because this recap is your chance to take a breath, reset at the beginning of the year here, and bring clarity back into what's about to be a very, very stressful season. So this is your moment to take a step back.
So I want to start by talking about the two journeys that we have going on here. It's admissions versus recruiting. And one of the biggest themes that we heard throughout the month was just how different those two journeys are, right? That you have admissions, you have recruiting, and even though families try to put them on the same path, they are very different and require very different things from you.
Right. Kathy made it so clear that they run on different timelines. They're like parallel little roads. And they require different strategies and serve different goals. While the dancer might be focused on the team, the team, the team, as a parent or a family or an adult, you need to say, hey, there's an academic fit, a financial fit, there's long-term happiness. There are so many other things that are running concurrently to picking the team.
And when you tangle those two things up, anxiety skyrockets throughout your entire household. But when you have sort of a parent or a guardian who is kind of overlooking the process and helping to keep those things separate, you have your admissions and you have your recruiting and audition circuit, right? When you can bring them together intentionally and you can keep the journey separate, the whole decision making process gets way more clear and you're able to really get laser focused on some choices that make more sense. So the takeaway from the whole first episode that we did with Kathy was basically to slow down, separate those two journeys, revisit the goal, which is building a life, not just joining a team. You want to build a life in college. You want them to have that collegiate experience, but also, you have to identify what their goals are for life after college. What is it that they want to do and accomplish? Because that's really what it's about. And if that answer is not professional dancer, then which in most cases it's not, there's a lot of work you have to do and things you have to be aware of, which we're going to help you with.
So I want to apologize in advance to all of the viewers who looked to episode 2 because my mouth was open the entire time because we talked about the wild, wild west reality where more required and less is offered when it comes to dance teams. And Kathy just kept dropping gems and surprises and aha moments. She really opened our eyes to the real discrepancies in college dance programs right now, where they're requiring more time, more money, more commitment, more skills, and offering less scholarship money, less resources, less training, less appropriate facilities, and really looking at that and having to weigh all of that when you're making choices.
Yeah, and I think that's what I took away from her is that you have to ask. You have to ask very pointed, very specific questions because there is no college oversight committee. Dancers don't automatically get academic support. In fact, she said scholarships are very rare, rarely given out to dancers for the dance side of things. Academically is a different story. Is there medical staff? What type of surface are you dancing on? What sort of financial benefits or compensation? How much am I going to pay out of pocket to be part of this program? Is there any formal protection from the school in any regard? The list goes on and on and on. So it was just the important reminder here is you have to look behind beyond the team's reputation. We get all the shiny things that people want us to see on social media and the clout that comes with that team and the notoriety that has been put on it, the spotlight from social media and the superstars that are part of that team, right, in our child's eyes. But the reality is that that team is not going to be for most people. And the beyond that reputation, there's a whole culture that you don't understand. And so to understand it and to understand what support truly does exist for your child potentially, you have to ask and you have to get involved. There was a little side conversation too about we focus a lot on as the kids get older, they should be advocating for themselves and learning how to speak and ask questions on their own. But when it comes to this, there's a little bit of a caveat. The parents need to stay involved. You need to stay um, and have some oversight over this process starting in about ninth grade and what is happening with them. And they can ask their questions about the dance part of it and the commitment part of it for the team, but as far as financially, they don't understand those things yet, and they shouldn't be expected to. And I think it's becoming more and more normal based on what Kathy had said and what our previous conversation was with Trishawn. Is the expectation is that it's okay for the parents to ask questions too.
And it should, and it absolutely should be. When you think about like the college recruiting for traditional athletes or football players, they do visits to the family's home where the family is. And they ask questions to everyone, or everyone comes. So this shouldn't be any different. And the major takeaway from this segment was don't be dazzled by the uniform, but be informed about the environment for sure.
Yeah, Kathy had even suggested, go to the school. Like a lot of I guess the tryout process is through these ID camps and combines and things like that. But she was even saying go to the school, see for yourself where they practice, what their culture is, how they're treated by the school, what the expectation is, what their life would look like if they were really there. She mentioned how important that is because you don't get the full impact of that from a combine. So I want to move on. The best fit versus the dream team, how to choose long-term success. So another huge shift that Kathy gave us was moving from a dream team mentality, to finding that best fit for long-term success mindset.
Yes, dancers become so just enthralled in a logo or a team name, or that's the hometown team, or that's where my parents went, or whatever it is, but they overlook a college that actually fits their major, their personality, their finances, their emotional needs, you name it. And those things are so important for a place like Kathy said it best, that you're going to call home for 4 years.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to spend way more time as a student there than they would as a team member, right? So the college has to support that growth across all areas of their life.
You got to think when you land in a place that fits you, everything's better. Like going to class is better. Eating food that may not be as good as home cooked food is better. Going to practice and spending all those rehearsal hours is better when you're in a place that you actually like. So, retention, confidence, mental health, physical well being, academic success, all of that becomes better when you choose a college that fits you, not just the team. And I think that that's so important. And that's something that as young people, this is why parents is important that parents be involved or adults be involved. Kids miss that. They can see what's in front of their face, not the long-term implications. So that's so very important. And the biggest takeaway, just to summarize that episode, is the right decision supports you as a person, as a whole human, your mind, your body, your spirit, your pocketbook, everything, not just you as a dancer.
Yeah, then we move to, which I think that commonly this is a more common question that everybody wants to know this, right? Application narratives matter. How can dancers stand out from this sea of applicants and people that are trying out there? And she talked a lot about the power of the college application narrative and something dancers actually excel at, and when they know when to use that, right? What are they doing outside of just being a dancer? What are they doing for their communities? What are they doing academically? All of that is looked at, right? Dancers have leadership stories, resilience, time management, teamwork, discipline, but many don't know how to translate that into an admissions essay.
Yeah, she said, one of the thing that stuck with me was she said the same thing that the college admissions, the academic admissions person is looking for, the same traits are the same traits that the college dance team coach are looking for. Compassion, resilience, teamwork, confidence, like all those things are looked for by both people. So make a story that tells that, not just your dance story or not just your academic story, but make sure that you include all those things because it's really about the traits of the person. Your story matters, your experience matters, and you have a lot to bring to the campus community outside of being able to do a bop mine that kicks you in the forehead, you know?
Yeah. And that that's easier said than done, I think. So that's definitely a skill that you can help them start building in that 8th or ninth grade timeframe. And giving them the opportunities too, like, what are you doing? We get so busy with the schedules and I got practice, I've got this, I've got rehearsal, I've got this, I've got this show, I've got this homework to do for school. But what about community service events? What are you doing for that? There's so many things to creating that well-rounded person before we send them off. Um, so something that this was kind of the last takeaway that I want to highlight, but it was the realities of college dance team life. It was sort of the good, the bad, the ugly. And she did not shy away from the realities of being on a college dance team.
No, and I appreciate that honesty. I love transparency and there's so much beauty and lovely costumes and community spirit and team, team spirit and competitive fire and leadership, but there's also pressure. There's the grind, there's politics, there's balancing academics and balancing rehearsal, there's injury, there you name it. There's so much of it. And I just love that Kathy addressed all of that.
But it also varies greatly from school to school, right? So, which is why this matters so much is that families need to understand what life looks like on that team. Kathy had pointed out nurses, there's some career paths, if you're going to school to be a nurse and you have hospital rotations and you have to work outside of, your classroom schedule, it's going to be really hard to be on a dance team that might be practicing at 10 p.m. because the other athletics that have the practice space are in it until 10 p.m. and the dance team can't get in there till 10 p.m. Does that work for you? Is that something, are you going to choose not to be a nurse to do that dance team? Absolutely not. So that's just things like that you don't necessarily think to ask are really, really important to be aware of before you make that final decision. So go in with your eyes open for this process. Choose a team that aligns with your dancer's value and their capacity as a human being, but also what their long term goals are.
Absolutely. We learned so much during this series. It has been a wealth of knowledge and we're all about education and resources. So for you out there learning from this episode, learning from this series, there's some more learning for you to do. Make sure you take the steps initiative. It's the impetus for the entire Beyond the Steps series. It's a free module, 5 different modules actually, from everything from medicine and science to psychology, nutrition, gender equity, racism, sex abuse and prevention, you name it, it's in there. And those resources are free. Make sure that you take them, you share them with somebody. And when you know better, you do better. I don't want to forget I don't want to forget Kathy's resources. She wrote a book. It's amazing. The Recruitable Dancer. It's available at her website, Dance Into College. You can also reach out to Kathy there for any type of consulting or to work with her on getting your college applications in and finding the right dance team. There's also a dance team finder on there that you can use. So make sure that you go there and find where your best fit might be for college dance team. And you can also reach out to her on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube at Dance Into College.
I can't stress enough, like, just our experience on the other side of the dance world as directors and educators and choreographers. This book is going to help so many people. So if you're a parent of a dancer who is thinking about dancing in college, share it with your dancer, gift it for birthdays or recitals. If you've got an eighth grader and up, this is a great book to kind of start opening the eyes a little bit to what is out there and what this process is really like. You can't start early enough, is basically what we're learning. This has been a powerful month. Kathy gave us clarity, she gave us honesty, and she gave us so many tools to help families make informed decisions during one of the busiest, hardest times of the year, and that is college decision time.
Yes, if your dancer is heading to UDA Nationals or finalizing college choices right now, take a breath. It's okay. The right fit is out there. The right path is unfolding. Everything's going to happen just like it's supposed to happen. Everything is so much bigger. There's so many things that are so much bigger than the placement, the audition, and the offer.
If you missed any of the episodes with Kathy Hein de Jong, to go back and listen. Each one is packed with insights that will help you navigate admissions, recruiting, and everything in between. You can find all of these episodes, as well as 6 seasons worth of episodes, on YouTube and Facebook at Apollo Performance and Turning Point Dance Creation. So go back and watch everything.
Yeah, and don't forget to follow the show. Hit that subscribe button because February is going to bring a whole new series, more conversations designed to support dancers and educators and families.
And until then, we hope you continue your